Continue on with part number 2. Thus far, we're at 1,108 NLC2 coins after starting with 1,000, and at 8,417 DGB after starting with 2,266. And of course, if you were to start with 10,000, you just increase all the increments by 10, and well, it would be 10 times higher across the board. And if you were starting like this, again, I was mentioning that this could have been someone grade 9, and back in my day, and this is interesting, I'm going to say this now. Maybe you have somebody who delivers newspapers and you get your weekly check, and yeah, let's put it into something like this. I looked at the price of the Toronto Star and Sun today when I was at the gas station, and well, today's paper was $5, and every other day's was 3. It used to be 35 cents on the normal cheat days, and I can't remember how much the Saturday paper was back then. And they were big papers to deliver. I think might have been $1. And then the Sunday ones, which were decent size, were like 75 cents or 65 or 50. But I just find that very interesting. There used to actually be boxes where you could actually buy papers. In fact, if I got incorrect amount of deliveries in the morning where they screwed up my order, the people that delivered my papers, I was supposed to go to a delivery box and buy the amount of papers, and then they'd reimburse me, which happened a few times. But anyway, back to this game. Back to this game. Yes, what I've done is I've moved all the completed trades down in here. And just if you're looking for an indicator, or when to buy, when to sell. Well, this indicator says start off with inventory, buy both coins, and then do these numbers, and then well, so far buy at 272, sell at 382. Buy four and two thirds, sell at 11 and three quarters or 3/5, whatever. 10 and three quarters, 15 and change. A little over 13, a little over 24. 18 and then over 27. 9 and two thirds, 19 and two thirds, and 8 and four fifths, 18 and almost 8 ninths. They're completed trades. We still have two shorts, you could say, yet to cover from a long time ago. So we'll see if they happen, when they happen. Of course, in real time, you're saying if. Maybe you know fundamentally or something's definitely going to happen, and if you do that, play on what you know is going to happen. But if you don't, I'm just going to put my numbers in. My last trade was buying at 462, which means I'm creating a new sell order, or I'm buying back the 483, which I guess we'll go for 3. And then on the upside, maybe 6 and a third, and we get that buyback filled at 289. I'll push the 4 button. You can ignore the 1 and 2s. Or 1 and 3s. I won't be using those. There's a small. I don't know how it got to that point where on the top it's like that, but I suppose I could fix it at any time. It's just not worth it for me to do right now. Enter DGB sell amount. Well, we sold 623 before. So what would 475 do? 163. Okay, market goes up 11% the next day on day 170. So we're looking for the buyback on 282. Let's go like 177. And it may create a new sell order. Let's go 4.5, 4 and two thirds even. And now everything's taken care of. After this buy comes in, I guess I have to do the centering on it. This one looks to be one off centered. And in this spot here, we're selling DGB. This was a 280 deal. And we have 7,900. We could easily do more than that. So let's put in 280, sell everything. Because when it's this far off on the skewed ratio, you really have to. But if it goes down more, you'll just even be able to do better at it, which is what would be more beneficial too. So therefore, we will take the amount of 280 on this side, 174 here. So that's a complete gain of 74 on the NLC side. and it goes up 26%. But again, let's look for big volatility. Let's look for one under 110. That's 50 off on 160. And maybe like 2 1/3, and it goes to 253. And now we figure how many do we sell. Well, we've already picked up 330 over the last little while. And given that what I want to do is gain both coins, which I was unable to do before, I might just pull the 174 full again. And that's what I'm going to do. So we'll sell. We'll 174 get back 437 of the DGB. And it's up 24% the next day. I'm going to take it. Just a small order. Just a small, over 10% of what I own, though. Which is 120, 150 maybe? Pick up another 468 on this side. It's down 17% to 263. Oh, I almost want to wait one more day, though. Just because I want to get under 253 and a really good deal. It's press your luck, we'll call it. And look what happens. You lose out on it. You could just flop it again the next day. And then look at that, back down 12%. The stuff you can do, the profits I lost out on, so be it. Okay, I guess we have to sell again. And we last sold at 315. That's a differential of 55. That's only like 10%. So let's just do like 100. I should have waited for a better price. But we'll get it back though. I know that, but you realize as when you're doing this, it's a good chance you're going to get it back. Okay, up to 462. I can't help myself. I might as well keep doing 10% until a big play comes. Because technically I can be doing 20%. On a 25% gain, you can sell off like one, works out to 1/5. Or 25 over 125. I'm still going to do about the 100 number though. And you're getting 459 for that 100, even though the price was 462. That's with the rake. And there's going to be transfer costs because when you're doing this, you don't need to have any of these in your hardware wallet. All of them in your hardware wallet. None of them on exchanges. It's just maybe you wake next day comes in, you do your thing every time at 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever it happens. And if you do it different times, you'll get different numbers that would come up. Maybe an intraday high when you do it comes in, and maybe it goes much higher and you get better plays. Or maybe you wait and something like say that this one 462 is available. Maybe it took 435 before it got there. There's just so many variables that can come into play. So at 405, yeah, I don't want to buy that. So let's just check it for the price. Again, I want to go under that 370 number. So let's go like 361. And as far as where we're going to sell again, maybe 5 3/4 ish. So 323. So we'll get this back, or 324 on the round. And how many DGB do we want to sell? We had 459 last time. And these are really low compared to the 9,000 numbers that we got. So let's just do again. I almost want to do all of them in this spot. Even though I know it's coming, I actually want to do less, but still. It's just, I feel I'm short stacked on my NLC2 with only this number. That's the reason why. Because you're short stacked there. And then it goes up 25%. I can't help myself. So we got 140 last time. I want to do less, like say 110. And down 14%, but that is definitely not enough. Although let's just check what the next day is. Down 8, 319. One more day. Press my luck. Okay, I'll take 308. I still got that 370 to buy back as well too. And it's conveniently in the area too, which is good. So therefore, let's go to sell DGB. How many do you want to sell? We had 442 from before. Again, it's in that situation of short stacked. That's only going to profit two of them this time. But 32 on the other side though. And I'm not taking a 7% gain. So the buyback on 370. That's and after a last trade of 308. So I'm thinking like 244. After buying at 308, let's work on that 4 number again. 417, so let's put a sell order in. We're on day 215, 7 months, 7.5 or something maybe. Alrighty, so let's sell. And after the buy of 142, let's now increase the number a bit. Let's go 130 maybe. Because I know we're short stacked, but it's also the easiest way to get them back again too, because this way we can sell 538 on the back deal. Down 11%. So let's go to the next price. Alrighty, on 417, I've got to be under 3 even. I'm going to get 285. And for our next sell, 5 2/3 maybe. Okay, so we'll get this one back at 280. How many DGB do we want to sell that 538? Probably most of them. And we will do this to 188, so 58 we make. And we'll confirm it here for one. And what I'm going to do is go like this. And we're looking for either the buyback on the 370, which with last trade at 280, let's go 225 maybe. And above 4, it goes above 4. So let's go 405 even, as if it matters on the differential of the two numbers. We are selling NLC2 because it's going up, and we have 1152. Let's do 130 of them maybe. I still want to correct that ratio, but I don't think it's smart to do that now normally. Again, until it's correct, as the buybacks have been, I think is the way to go. There's going to be a time when you're going to have to unload a lot of DGB, and that's just going to work out there. Okay. So the buyback, 2.88, we'll say. And for selling, it's 5 and what? Maybe 5.5. So close to 288, 286. So let's sell the DGB. Let's go 520. And pick up 180 here. So gaining 50 NLC. because you're short stacked on that one. That's why I'm trading on that level. Sometimes I might have to do the opposite in time, and oftentimes you will if you get these swings back and forth like this. So we're looking for the 370 buyback or the new sell order. So let's look at maybe 2 2/9 and maybe over 4. Okay, so this buyback is in place. 2.13. Let's sell DGB. That was 367. And we're fixing that short stack problem a little bit because we got 2 more that need to be fixed as well. All right, so the buyback on the 315 sale or the next one, and I don't have to go massively lower anymore. Definitely under 2 though. So maybe go 175. Wouldn't mind a decent sized gain on 2, like close to 3. So we got this one here, 165. Let's do this again. This was 437. And we would pick up 262. That's working out well for this now. So 435 for 262. Okay, so only one sell order left to get back. That was at 253. We're already in the profit for it, but let's again go for better deals. Maybe go for 1.25 and look for 239 on the way up. So we got the 1.25 number. And everything's taken care of. That is spectacular. And let's do the trade. That was for 437 DGB. And the ratio 1.2. You definitely want to. I would be selling most of it like this because it's getting better now. Okay, so now what do we have at this stage? We have 1,977 NLC2. That's a gain of almost double. 7,700 DGB, which is a little lower than we started from before because it was, well, since the start of this video, it was 1,100 NLC2. It's up like 877. Not quite double, but closer to like 80%, 75%. We had 8417. We started this video. Now it's at 77. So we've only lost 700 to gain 900 thus far. And we've also now seen that over not quite a year, the overall net gain is like 3.5 times. 68, 3.2, 3.3 times. Let's continue. Lowest price. Well, everything's all new for this stage. Let's go 1.8. So it goes up to 2.07. We own 2,000 of them. Maybe let's go 250 here. It's up 14% only. Then 4.6 half. Then down 12. Then up a quarter. And sometimes I'll just go through it this way, one day at a time. We're at day 340. Up to 10% day, that is. But last trade was 208. So whenever you see it's near where you were, there's nothing to do. Every day you look, nothing. Look, nothing. Look, nothing. Ooh, 272. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I want to participate, you say. It was a good gain. It's a gain of like 6.6 and change. That's like 30%. Like maybe you want to sell another 250. I didn't know how much it was before. Well, 2.08 ratio, so that'd be like what, 515 or something? Then it's so yeah, let's just go to the next day. So 272, that yeah, 312 maybe it's not good enough. 323 maybe you ponder but you decide to pass. Back down. Now it's below last trade but not by much. Now it's pretty much at last trade on day 356. Now it's significantly lower. Do you want to take your buyback on the 272? You can ponder it, it's close. I'm going to wait one day and I get a better deal. So let's take this buyback. The ratio is about 2 to 1, but your ratio is like 3, 4 to 1. So I don't have to go quite as aggressive as I did before, but relatively. I had 675 before, so what would 600 do? 323. That's a gain of over 20% on the opposite end. So okay, so after waiting at 184, let's wait each day. Nothing there, nothing there, nothing again. Down a bit, but not much. Down a bit more, not enough. Same thing. Okay, do you want to buy your two weight back now at 138 or do you want to wait? Press your luck. Let's press my luck. Okay, I think the buyback is in. And let's, last time it was 515, so let's see what 450 will do. So then it's down to 109, 114, 98, down 14%, maybe a little bit lower. Maybe a bit better than that. That's, I think. So let's sell some DGB. Let's up this stakes a little bit. Let's go like about 750 of them. And do it for 841 on the other side. Okay, so now we're looking for better, something away from the 88 number. I mean, 101's not up enough. As we're into our 13th month and well over 1. I mean, there's no way, even under 70. But just going through each day. There's 69 too. But I went cheaper. Didn't get it. Went up. And I'm just going to go to this because that's why I created this. So 0.65 we'll say. And maybe 137. So on day 45, we're going to get a buy of 0.61. Let's do, again, let's just keep it aggressive. Let's do 850. I could even do more. Probably should be too. I probably should be going like 1200 or something, 13. But if you don't do it, then you set yourself up later to do it if good things happen. I mean, this is getting 1390 in the opposite direction. So let's just do 47.5 and 98. Okay, so we'll complete this one. So we had 850 of them. Ratio is getting a little bit better, so let's just see what happens if we go 6 or 700 of them. Okay, so sell. Okay, so let me just get this right here. If I sell 700, that makes sense, but just trying to think of, should this, if you, I should have, if I'm losing 1390, I think that's, is this, did I do this right the first time? This is obviously plus DGB. Because I sold, I know what it was. Okay, so then let's just do again sell. It was 1,390 of them, so let's just do 1,100 and do it that way. The order now in. So what I could even do is just copy this. We paste this down here. And don't need this anymore. And I could have moved the other one down, but for now I'm just going to leave it there. Last trade, 983. Let's see where we go. And I'm just going to do every single day this way. I know we're getting close to the end at 479. I'm trying to think, 2017 I started this in. So 2018. Oh, there's still a decent amount of time left. I think it's like maybe 600 days. Okay, so let's go to next price. We have a low last, not almost a unit or one. Let's go like 74 on the down, like maybe one. We're buying back from the 885. So 1 1/3 would work from that, and we get 0.68 here. This is a sell of DGB. Owning 7,300, so it's, if you sell 1,000, we would get 1457. Okay, so next up after the 68 buy, maybe go the 5 number, a halfer, and wait for it to go over 1, and we get the buy in here, so let's go 496, and that's a pretty decent size pullback overall too. That try would just how aggressive would one sell here? You could almost go like 2 grand if you wanted to, but I don't think I still. Even though I know it turns out to be the right play, I don't want to do it. But I mean, considering it's at like low's not really seen in a while, that's where you really want to make it a good number. 1750 would get like 3,500 in the opposite direction. Okay, so after the 5, you'd probably be looking at like maybe a third. And maybe like 0.8 to sell, and it goes to 0.87. So let's take care of this one. Sell the NLC2. How many do we want to sell? Well, we gained 3,500 last time. The ratio right now, we have twice as many of them. And they're technically worth about the same, so we really have a lot of them. So let's sell 3,500. Everything that we bought. And this way we would gain like well over 1,250 of the DGB. Alrighty. So now let's wait for the next one. Either the sell on the 68 buy or a new buy order. Well, last time it was a buy at the 0.5, so let's just go somewhere near there, under 55. And as far as selling it, maybe 1.2, which we're going to get. So we'll finish off this one here, 1.24. Close enough. And we traded 1,000 for 14.57. And again, we were. By the way, that's wrong. We're doing number 2. Again, I want to almost sell everything that I bought, just because the ratio's out of whack. And gain like 780 DGB on that transaction. Okay, so we're either going to be doing the selling on this one, on this 88 number, or looking for a buy. And let's see what it is. So after a sell at 123, maybe 0.925 or lower, or lower than that rather, because if it equals that, it has to go. I think it has to go lower than that by anything. The formula is if the number is less than this, then that means it's lower. And the highest price we have that of let's see. We're looking to. Why does this have 5 on here? Okay. 88.5 was the last trade, so let's do 170 maybe. Instead, we've actually managed to have another buy at this 88. So I'm actually going to try to go for lower than that. 82, even lower than that. Okay, there we go. Owning 9,384. I think we might want to go over 10% of that, maybe 1,200. Okay, next trade. Let's look for maybe 0.5 on this one, maybe 5.25, and over $1 or 1. Okay, so this is complete at 108. And let's just do 1,700 again. Sell pretty much everything that we bought until the ratio gets fairer. And that's a gain of 1820, or a gain of 620. Okay. So now it's either sell this 88 or a buyback. So let's just do 0.775 for the lowest price, and maybe 155 for the highest. It's a buy. 0.752. I mean, last time in this area we did 1,200. So let's now maybe do 1,350. Increase the stakes a little bit from where they were before. And confirm the order. I guess we go back close to the 50 number, I guess. 55. 53. And definitely over 1 to sell, maybe 108. And that's where we stand. So I guess you could say, not well, game over for now, but up until the data that we have in this game that we're using, over 600 days. And every trade, there's only 2 waiting still to get completed along the way. The inventory numbers, NLC2 started off at 1,000. And in about 1 3/4 of a year, you would have increased that over 5 times from 1,000 to 51. On the other side, starting off with 2266 being at 86.55, not quite, but very near 4 times the gain of the market. So that's why I think it's a fun game to play as it is. But when you play this, never is Bitcoin needed, at least to have an inventory, or nothing more than a middle, like a third party, if you will, a means to an end to the trade, because you're not going to trade these two together on one of these two being a main exchange. Not even close, not even maybe. But when you get to the situation where, oh, it's time for a trade, and in this sense, say the last one was buy at the 75 too, well, what would you have been doing? Well, what you would have been doing is, okay, you see that it's time to buy some NLC2, so you would take 1,350 coins, maybe, away from your DGB wallet and send it over to, well, in this case, maybe the Bittrex exchange. And then you'd end up selling it for Bitcoin. Then you'd have that Bitcoin, and you just, whatever you have with it, you would buy NLC2, and we'll assume you'd get 1781. And then you now send that to your wallet that you use. And the fees, well, 0.1 for NLC2, 0.2 on the exchange for Gigabyte. So it's a fraction of what is already a cheap coin. These are both right now little better than 1 cent coins each. So they're not that expensive either. The fees, all that kind of stuff. You can keep all of it on your hardware wallet. And oftentimes, and I heard this again when I was watching one of the Brian Shannon videos recently, where everyone comes into this game and everyone's trying to find that holy grail. And he mentioned he was trying to. Oh, heck, I did too. A lot of these indicators that came out, like the stochastic, RSI, stochastic, so many other different things. I try to find different plays, back and forth systems to see if anything really had really good results, and I never could. However, I guess if there is any type of holy grail, this one here doesn't require that much knowledge. You need to know how to do clerical work, obviously, in this case, buying, selling, documenting, that kind of stuff. You need to understand two coins that are legitimate in their movements. For as long as the coins really don't go down, you're fine. Now, if you have a coin where one of them goes way down and the other one doesn't, then you're going to be buying a lot of that coin that goes down. And it's going to be very difficult for you to have more coins ownership of the more expensive one than you started. And in a situation where, say, one coin just goes up so majorly exponentially and the other one doesn't, well, you're going to be selling a lot of that coin and buying a lot of the other coin that isn't bad, which is still fine. You might lose out on some spectacular gains because, well, maybe you start off with, like in this case, it was 1,022. Let's just assume that DGB took off to the moon so much and that this ratio got like 0.07 and even stuff like that. And then you'd be lucky if you'd even get to 1,000 or 1,200 of these coins. And you'd be talking about having like 100,000 maybe of these. It would just get to those sick type of numbers. But you're looking for coins that you can protect in hardware wallets, coins that have cheap enough withdrawals on the exchange, liquid enough to trade on the markets as well. All of these different factors, understanding when it's time to buy and sell, how many you are going to do so, and as long as 6 divided by 3 is equal to 2, as long as 1 times 1.3 is 1.3, then the system strategy works because the math always is the same. So therefore, you know, if you buy at these lower numbers and sell, as we see in so many examples, that you're just going to be doing spectacularly within these markets. I mean, 61 for 1100, just looking at that. 50 for 1350. That's what these wild markets will do. You go from something worth 27 times the other one, and then it's worth less. Which is, when they have its own movements, it's going to have more volatility than a market would normally have against a normal base currency like Bitcoin or Ethereum. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day. Bye bye.